Hello, long time no see, YouTube. It is nice to um, record again. I have not done this for quite some time, and there is very good reason. But yeah, I have not recorded since I think my recap of December 2022, and I plan to start 2023 with a whole bunch of new videos and new ideas and all of that stuff. And there was a hiccup. So if you are interested in hearing about that, please get comfortable and yeah, join me for that. All right. Okay. So just to get started explaining my absence, I will tell you that last year was full of roller coaster moments. Too many, if you ask me, but all of those things make us who we are and make us strong and all of that good stuff. So I'm going to take you back to January of 2023. So I was planning on starting to, make more videos as of maybe mid-January or whatever. I caught myself taking a little break. And about mid-month, about January 15th or so, so as of about January 15th of 2023, I received a text message from my brother, Corey, who resided in Baltimore at that time. So yeah, he let me know that he was thinking about coming up for a visit, which we had talked about this probably like months earlier or whatever, if not a year or so before that, because he had had some life changes. He had gone through a divorce and all of that stuff, and so he was really rebuilding his life and everything. So he talked about coming up to my town or state for a visit. And of course I'm like, yeah, cool, come on, let's do it. So and let me also preface that was, or Corey was, and I'm talking about him past tense, and I'll get to all of that. I don't know how to tell the story without doing that, but anyway, he was one of my closest siblings. We're all pretty close, but I would say that is the sibling that I communicated with the most. And I may have to stop this video here and there, but hang on a second. Okay. So anyway, let me know he was going to come in to town possibly that weekend. So it all worked out where he was able to drive in on Saturday morning. So he told me about his plans on Wednesday. Saturday morning by 9:30 or so, he was pulling up to the driveway. Let me know, hey sis, I'm out here. So you of course opened the door and we visited, had coffee and chit chatted and all of that stuff, and went over like all my plants and stuff, because we both were plant people. And I have to get back to that too, so I'm put that on my list. Hold me to that to talk about my plants too. But anyway, we had a pretty decent visit. I will say that that year, like I said, in 2022, his divorce was made official. So when he came here, he was excited. We talked for about 45 minutes or so, and then he said, I'm gonna lay down, because he had a little drive to make it up here to where we are. So after coffee and all of that, he rested. And that was, like I said, we talked about 45 minutes or so. So I would say about, let's say 10:30 or so, he went to go lay down. And I'm sorry, I'm oily and ashy. Anyway, I'm going to do this video anyway, because if not, I'm just not going to do it. So, but yeah, so 10:30 he laid down. And one thing I did notice is that he was extremely thirsty. Even after our coffee, he's like, I need water. I mean, and you had to get it like right then and there. He needed the water like ASAP. So he laid down at 10:30 that morning, and I didn't see him until the next day. So because I knew he was like so thirsty, which I felt was a little bit unusual, but it is what it is. So I knew that if he woke up, to get up, go to the restroom or grab a snack or whatever, I knew that he'd be thirsty. So I took some bottled water and put it upstairs outside of the guest bedroom. So when he woke up, because he did wake up to get some water, and that water was there, and he commented on it the next day. So next day was Sunday. My daughter was having a gender reveal party and everything, and so I cooked for that. And so I said, hey, bro, ride with me to go drop off this food. And he would see some of the family and stuff. So he did just that. And at this point, he had his water for sure. But he stayed awake because, like I said, he had rested from the time he got here to the next morning, which, kind of was a bummer because I was hoping to visit with him. And we normally karaoke and do all that stuff. And so we didn't get to do that on Saturday going into Sunday. So Sunday, had the gender reveal, went there, visited a little bit of family. And at that point, he was awake and everything and just drinking his water. And so we didn't get to stay for the full party or whatever. So we didn't eat or anything. But I had cooked enough so where when we came back, we would be able to eat. And that was good. So anyway, came back home after we dropped off that food and visited a little bit. And we ate here. And he ate like a child-sized portion. I mean, it was probably about as much as you would give maybe like a 2 or 3 year old. It was just very little. And it was Alfredo. I think it was chicken Alfredo. Yeah, chicken Alfredo with broccoli or something like that. And garlic bread. So anyway, he ate that and then got his water and went to go lay down for a while. And then I told him later on that evening I was going to go over to my mom's place and I will just clean her carpet. We have a carpet cleaner, so I'll clean her carpet real good. And it was about time for that. So it gave us a chance for him to visit mom and everything too. So yeah, went over there, cleaned her carpet. At this point, when he got over there, he went ahead and laid on her couch. And mom talked to him for probably a couple of seconds, but he was asleep the whole time. So after that was done, came home, not much of a visit or so, but yeah, came home. And I did leave out one visit where we had gone over to see mom the day that he, what day was that? I honestly can't remember what day it was, but we did go visit my mom for a little while in between us sleeping. So anyway, that Sunday, cleaned her carpet, he laid down. And then that next morning he was going to go back home to Baltimore. So he did just that. He told me it's going to take me so many hours. And, I'm like, let me know when you get home and everything. So he did. And the number of hours he said, it took just that long. I mean, to the minute he was there. And then I didn't hear from him for a week or so. Which I thought was weird, but he had been sleeping a lot and stuff. And so I told my mom, I think he may be depressed. And I'm like, Mom, I think you probably need to reach out. And of course I could talk to him, but I felt like it would probably be better coming from mom. Cause y'all know how moms do. So, anyway, mom called him and he said, hey, it's not that, but I'm tired. So when I get up, I'll give you a call and we can talk about it more. So again, neither one of us heard from him for about a week or so, probably a week and a half. And when he called me, and I'm holding his phone, so if I'm shaking, I apologize. But he called me, he FaceTimed me. We were out, we had gone to an escape room. Me, my daughter, hubby, and the niece. We'd gone to an escape room. And he FaceTimed me and just told me about these symptoms that he had been having, which, like I said, put this together with the excessive water drinking and, or thirstiness. Like I said, he'd be thirsty on the spot and you had to have that water right then and there. And then the sleeping and stuff. And so he was telling me about some stuff and I'm like, oh, you know what? Someone else in our family had something like that. And it ended up being nothing. So I'm thinking it's going to be the same thing with you too. I'm sure of it. So, he had more tests and everything. And this had to be, it was in January still. But anyway, he had more tests. The first test he had was a bone marrow test. And The first one came back inconclusive, and I don't know if you know anything about those, but they actually go in through your hip and take out bone, and it can be painful, the healing process. Of course, you're numb for the process, the actual process, but afterward, the healing, it's a little painful. So he had that. So he was still in the hospital because you combine that with he was having like fainting spells. So yeah, first test came back inconclusive and all of that stuff. And I know I'm skipping some parts, but y'all, this is difficult. But let's fast forward to February. By this point, we're in February, mid-February, well, probably about the second or so week of February. And he's still in the hospital because he's having these transfusions and stuff because he actually needs them at this point to function because he can't stay awake. He's weak and just not feeling well. And he sent me a text message and he told me that his doctors had finally had a diagnosis for him and they were going to have a meeting about it. And so I'm like, oh, cool. I said, please let me know what's gonna, what they say. It's like dinner time and stuff. So I'm thinking, yeah, he'll let me know after dinner or whatever. But he was like, hey, I actually want you to jump on. So I'm like, cool. So on the thing, it was like a hospital chart and they had like a Zoom thread and everything. So yeah, and it was like just enough time for us to eat dinner and basically sit down and join the Zoom. So that's what I did. And when I jumped on the Zoom, we have different fathers. So that's a whole thing. But my dad adopted him. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. But anyway, on his dad, his biological father's side of the family, he has like siblings, sisters and brothers and all of that stuff. So I'm sorry, my mic is slipping. But yeah, so on that side, he has other sisters and brothers and all of that stuff. And he had reconnected with them probably like, I want to say about 4 years prior to where they had actually met and established relationships, and they had pretty good relationships and everything. And he was building with his father and all of that. But anyway, jumped on a Zoom and they're all there. I hadn't had a chance to tell the other siblings about it because I didn't really know what was going on. Anyway, fast forward to the Zoom. The doctor tells us that he has leukemia. It's AML. And I'll probably put the medical description or whatever, or name on the bottom of the screen or something. But anyway, AML leukemia. So that's the diagnosis. And so the treatment, chemotherapy, bone marrow transplant. If we're lucky, it would be that. And of course, siblings could be tested and all of that stuff. So we're all like, yeah, we're willing to do that for him. But in order to get to the bone marrow testing, we have to get him, he has to be in remission and healthy enough to go through it. So we would get close. Like I said, this was a roller coaster times where he would get the first round of chemotherapy. He had, I can't remember the percentages, but he had kind of, the cancer had started to go away. I think it might've been, I don't know, I'm guessing you all, it might have been 20% left. So there was planned to do another round of chemotherapy. And so by that second round, he was just going downhill. That chemotherapy is just so invasive and it's hard on the body and the organs. But anyway, there was like a glimmer of hope. Like we were thinking, okay, after that second round, he was cancer free. And we were thinking we were going to move to the bone marrow transplant. So we all started filling out our paperwork and we had all agreed to be tested and we were going to go through that process. And in fact, I had sent in my paperwork and I mean, they ask a lot of questions. It's really invasive, but you would do that for your loved one. So we had gotten through that process. And then, after that second round of chemotherapy, he just wasn't healthy enough for a bone marrow transplant. It had really destroyed his kidneys and other organs and stuff. And so the bone marrow transplant was off. And so really there was nothing else that they could do for him. So we kind of just he had to agree to hospice and all of that stuff. And during this time, he had lost the ability to speak. He couldn't answer the phone. There you go. So yeah, he couldn't speak or anything. So you couldn't, even have conversations with him. And he was just going downhill. So April, his birthday, we were able to kind of all get together, have like a virtual birthday party for him and everything. And that was good. That was one of the last times I could remember that he could speak. But yeah, so he went to hospice, and he was in hospice for one day. I don't even think it was a full day before he passed away peacefully in the hospice. So yeah. So in 2023, we went through a cancer diagnosis for my brother, his illness, and then he passed away in May. And then, if you can believe this or not, 3 days later, my grandson was born. So it's like we lost a loved one, but we gained one as well. So yes, that all happened. So basically the remainder of the year, I pretty much was grieving, and I'm still grieving, but it was hard, y'all. So that is why I've been gone. Hang on a second. Yeah, so yep, just getting through that. The family, oh my God, my family has come together, and even my brother's side of the family, we check in with each other. We had established a text thread, and we would have our own Zoom calls and stuff to kind of, keep everyone in the loop of what was happening and what would be happening and all of that stuff. And then right around Memorial Day weekend of 23, well, it was Memorial Day weekend, we made the drive to Baltimore, and we had a beautiful memorial ceremony for him. And it was just beautiful. It was at a state park, which was one of his favorite places to be. And we just had loads of food, and we stayed in a Airbnb. That was my first time doing that, but we stayed in an Airbnb, the whole family. This place was huge. And yeah, we got through that, and like I said, it was a beautiful way to remember him. And I know he's smiling down on us, and yeah, he would have been happy to have us recognize him that way. So yeah, lost a brother, gained a grandson, and I was actually there in the delivery room while my grandson was born. So that was special. And I'm glad that my daughter allowed me to be part of that, because that's a private moment. But yeah, I was there, and I helped her, and so was father and everything. And so it was beautiful. And of course I was crying like a baby, y'all, because I was so emotional, and it was just a beautiful, beautiful time. So that's why I've been gone. Like I said, grieving, getting through that. I found a way to save our text messages on my computer, because it pulls up with Mac anyway. You can pull up your text messages and link it and all of that stuff. And so I was able to print that off, and occasionally I'll look at that and just crack up over our conversations, because they were pretty goofy. And yeah, so my plants, I'm gonna go there. They last year, I don't think I wiped my plants off not one time. So they were pretty dusty, and they look a little bit sad. So yesterday I took a day and I started wiping them off. I have so many, it's going to take a couple of days, but I'm starting to wipe those off and kind of get them back to being healthy again. I mean, they're still green, but they look sad. Let me see if you can see. So they just look a little sad. But another thing, I painted this room. This is my office. I painted it. And these curtains I had for years, actually, probably since we moved in this house. This will be the 9th year. But yeah, I've had those for that long, and just had them tucked away. And it just so happened that this hunter green, I don't know, I'm just really into this color. So yeah, I did that, and it's such a dark color. It doesn't look like it because the sun's shining, but it's a very dark color, and I didn't want to do the entire room that way, so I do have I just used it kind of as an accent wall, and it's on both sides of the room. And painted the ceiling and everything. I was gonna change the light, but I did not do that yet. But anyway, y'all, that's what's going on. Still plucking away at school. I'm taking a statistics course. So if you can see some of those notes, you see critical value, p-value, all that stuff. I'm just trying to remember it. It's not easy for me, y'all. I do not like statistics, but yeah, just pluck it away. So stay tuned. I should have some big updates. I should be graduating this year. Well, I'm gonna graduate this year. I'm claiming it. But yeah, I got to put in the work if I want to reap the rewards. So I'm doing that, and it doesn't leave me with a lot of time. Right now I'm taking 2 classes, but like I said, plucking away. So yeah, planning on having a good graduation party. And also last year, I took a different role at work. So yeah, that's a huge thing. It's something I didn't see coming. But yeah, I do have more responsibility now. So and I love it, and I'm just wanting to do a real good job at that because I've been trusted with something big. I want to genuinely make a good impression on people and just make a difference. That's all. I just want to be impactful. So that's pretty much all. I'm not gonna make this too long. I don't know how long it is now, but yeah, that's it, y'all. I love y'all. Thank you if you hung around. If you were still here praying for me, I felt your prayers. You didn't know what was going on with me, but yeah, I'm here. So I don't know when my next video will be, but I will try to make it soon. I don't even know what I'm gonna record. Let me know if you want to see something specific. Just let me know. All right, y'all. Y'all take care. Be blessed. Bye.